Hi everyone, I'm Jim and welcome to the review of Hate, the second album by the band Die Artist Murder. Today we're celebrating the 10th anniversary of the record, so I've decided to go back and see if it still holds up or not. As you may know from my Dear Desolation review, I am a massive fan of this band since the year 2012. I think I've stumbled upon a song from their EP, Infinite Death. I don't remember which song it was, but it was so good that I had to check out the rest of the discography. Hate is the only album with the guitarist Tom Brown in the band, and for some reason Sean played bass here. I never understood this change, especially because Sean writes most of the albums. The producer for this record is Will Putney and the band themselves. The production is tight. Will Putney is a legend. He always creates a massive sound that is clean and tight at the same time. The message is diverse, songs are mostly anti-religious. Some other themes include Satan, murdering people, social issues, stuff like that. The structure of the songs is advanced. While the structures aren't that complicated, they do have a lot of changes, a lot of breakdowns, usually 2 breakdown sections, and verses that are completely different from each other. The album's opener, Reign of Darkness, is probably the most recognizable song from this band. I just love the atmosphere of this song, the guitars are perfect, the bass is audible, the drummer, Lee, is killing it on this record from beginning to the end. CJ, the vocalist, not from GTA San Andreas, his growls and screams are cherry on top of this record. And this song, the breakdown in the middle, is so good. You will obey. You will follow the face of the... Sorry, I don't remember the lyrics, but it's just so good. And that final breakdown at the end, I just love it. I even made a meme back in 2015 with Peppa Pig that she listens to Die Artist Murder. Amazing song, classic of this genre, legendary, banger. 11 out of 10. The purest strain of Hate, there was a massive amount of memes with CJ's face and that title, the purest strain of something. It was hate, maze, waste, whatever. It was always something else. Wish we could go back to those simpler times. This song is not as good as the previous one, but it's still a masterpiece, especially that part with spineless followers. That breakdown is just the best part of this song for sure. And that very fast part after the breakdown, 10 out of 10. Vile Creations is another track that, for me, doesn't have a weak spot. It's just pure fun and carnage from beginning to the end. My favorite part is probably at the end, where the song becomes more melodic and atmospheric. 10 out of 10. Shadow of Eternal Sin has that classic Die Artist Murder vibe around it. It's more repetitive than the previous songs, but it's still a banger. I love the drumming on this song, that melody behind the guitars that is very atmospheric. I love it as well. There's nothing wrong with this song, it's a straight up banger, 10 out of 10. Immolation is a song that kinda sounds like a filler. It's very similar to the previous ones, but besides that there's nothing wrong with it. I enjoy every second of this song, especially the breakdown at the end. It's fun to listen to, 9 out of 10. Infinite Forms, I have the same opinion about it. At this point the album starts to sound very similar to each other. Some people say it's generic. It's not generic to me, but the songs are just losing their identity a little bit. But this one is fun as well, nothing wrong with it, 9 out of 10. Dead Sun is a song that seems weaker than the previous 6 ones, but the featured vocalist, Nico from War from a Harlot's Mouth, is killing it at his part, and actually the part where he's doing vocals is the best part of the song because it has the best instrumental work behind it. I just adore that atmospheric part, it's the best thing in this song, so yeah, 9 out of 10. Gates of Misery, for me, is the weakest part of this album. It's still a great song, but there's nothing special about it. It just seems like another Die Artist Murder song. That's fun from beginning to the end, but it doesn't have any part that stands out. So yeah, 8 out of 10. Defective Breed is probably the most sinister sounding song on this record. It has those very evil sounding riffs. That's the most memorable thing about this track. Besides that, nothing else. It's just fun to listen to. 9 out of 10. And the final song, Doomed from Birth, features Joel from DMT Affliction. For a long time this was my favorite Die Artist Murder song. These days it's hard for me to choose one, but back then for like 5 years I always thought this was their best track, because that opening breakdown just hits perfectly and the chorus is so atmospheric and just beautiful. I agree with the lyrics here, that there is no life after death, there is nothing. This song makes me think about my mortality and the fact that nothing is eternal. The final breakdown here is one of my favorite breakdowns ever. I just love that before the drop we have that beautiful melody on guitar and we hear the vocalist screaming in the background, and then when CJ is saying there is nothing, there's actually no instruments behind it, and then the final breakdown starts and it's just the best thing ever. Before the song ends, those beautiful guitar parts come back and I just love hearing them. For some reason this song just means a lot to me, and to this day I always remember that this album has the best beginning and ending from all Die Artist Murder records. Perfect song that I will never forget about. 11 out of 10. To sum it all up, the consistency is stable and the flow is fitting. You're not going to skip anything. Replayability, hell yeah, this is a masterpiece. Sure, in the middle the songs start to sound similar to each other, but besides that, it's just a strong release from beginning to the end. I feel like they've chose the most memorable songs to appear at the beginning of the record and left out Doomed from Birth at the end because it just has the best ending. With this album, Die Artist Murder found their sound because the EP sounded way different. The first album also was more death metalish than deathcore, and since Hate, it's always the same thing. Holy War is basically Hate 2, Dear Desolation was more atmospheric take on Hate, and Human Target is just Hate but with more death metal influences. It's always Hate. It all comes back to Hate. Even some melodies in these tracks can be found on the later albums, which is interesting. I hope we are going to get a new album soon, because it's been a while since Human Target. Like, I've seen this band live after Human Target was released and it was a while ago. It's time to release some new music, Die Artist Murder. It's goddamn time. Thank you for watching. Celebrate the anniversary by listening to this album today with me. It deserves some love. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Write down your memories about this album. Were you there 10 years ago when it was released? Did you enjoy it? Or maybe not? Share your thoughts down below. I will see you in my other reviews. Bye!